October 7, 2022 was a day that we Ethiopians have seen once again. We are fighting this war alone, except for our brothers, African brothers and sisters who stood by us in these times of trials. It was a day that manifested there is a well-orchestrated attack against Ethiopia, which includes disinformation on social media, the mainstream media, the UN Human Rights Organization, which is usually used to criminalize African countries, African leaders, and then to also destroy African countries. And then the European Union and the US, all of them, they have all manifested in one day, on this day, how well they are working together to destabilize Ethiopia. It started in the morning by some of the TPLF propagandists and the mainstream media trying to tell us the Ethiopian government do not want the peace negotiation, trying to disinform the people. And then it continues also with the news that with two anonymous diplomats who say that because of demand from the TPLF side, which was not able to be made, so the peace negotiation is postponed for indefinite day. And then we saw later in the day, or in the afternoon, I think, Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the former president of Kenya, telling us that he pulled out from the peace negotiation. Remember, he was appointed, he was part of this, and October 1st, the letter was sent to him. Now, just the day before, on 7 October, he comes and tells us, saying that it clashes with his prior schedule. I mean, how stupid is that? Don't you have a better reason? You don't know your schedule for 7 days, and now that just a day before you come and you decide to say that you pull out from the peace negotiation. And then he wrote also a lengthy letter to the African Union asking what his mandates are. I mean, the AU have put the letter in public that it wrote on 1st October, putting that Olusegun Obasanjo will lead this peace negotiation. And the former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, will be one of the facilitators, or meaning a panelist. That was all. That was his job. Now he's asking more. He's actually serving to be the mouth of the neo-colonialists because he's there basically to do something else. Now, it doesn't stop here. Why I say it was an orchestrated attack against Ethiopia on 7 October was that we also have seen that the 51st meeting of the United Nations Human Rights Council has ended by adopting to give one more year to the mandate of the International Commission Human Rights Experts on Ethiopia to come up again with their nonsense report that actually discriminated the people in Amhara and the people in Afar. So that was not it. Okay, just before the end of the day, we have also one more bad news that came out that says actually a ship has left from Ukraine carrying 30,000 tons of wheat for Ethiopia, for the hungry people of Ethiopia. You know why this news came out now? Because the Ethiopian government and the president of Kenya, William Ruto, as of October 6th, has made a deal, Ethiopia, to sell wheat to Kenya. And for Kenya to buy from Ethiopia is much cheaper. So, of course, the West do not want that. It's the politics of wheat. It is the most second powerful political commodity in the world. No African country is wanted to be, to be self-sufficient in feeding itself. We all know that. Just 20 days ago, when the news all over there, by the African Development Bank, by different researchers, that Ethiopia's wheat production is indeed going good, and Ethiopia is on the right track in feeding itself, and then being sustaining itself in food sustainability. So all this is not wanted. And the first ship was actually, as soon as that news came out, it was on September 17th, the first ship from Ukraine was sent, saying, there was not even hiding it, with the title saying, the first ship from Ukraine has left carrying tons of wheat for the hungry people in Ethiopia. Just after that news, now for the second time, because this deal was done between the Ethiopian government and then the Kenyan government, they do not want to see that, so they want to run and rush to cover this with this one. So we have seen all this on the same day. It just tells you. But one thing I should not forget is on the adoption of the International Commission Human Rights experts on Ethiopia, the African countries once again has shown they stood by us by saying no for the adoption of that report, because they know that it's more political than a human rights issue. So I really want to say thank you for that. One more thing, what makes this orchestrated attack against Ethiopia really to work well for them is that the U.S. Special Envoy Mike Hammer is, doing his shuttle diplomacy in Africa just on the same date around where the peace talk was supposed to happen, and going to the host country, and then going to Kenya to talk to meet Uhuru Kenyatta and others. So this all makes it, I mean, is it a coincidence? No, there's nothing a coincidence. They know what they are doing. But then, so October 7 was where we have seen an orchestrated attack against Ethiopia. But no matter what, we are fighting an African war, and we should stand strong. The West can deny us their loans, their donation, anything. I mean, the plight, the pressure will continue, but we have no option than being strong, and we cannot give up on our sovereignty. On some of the topics that I have raised, I'm gonna come back with the detail of it by inviting our Pan-African panelists on the issue to talk about it, and to give a depth analysis to our audience. But until next time, peace.